Good to be back playing. Obviously coming out of Christmas break, chance to play in the GLI. I thought the guys did a good job taking care of themselves. Proud of them to get the job done. Down some guys and next man up mentality. And I thought the guys that stepped in did a heck of a job. I mean, Cole Burke, he came here, with the thought, it'd be most likely going to practice a lot, right? And if there's some opportunity there potentially, but he was ready to go, scored a big goal. Unfortunately, ended up getting injured and is out for a while. And even on that play, I look at Berkey, blocks a shot. You don't even know that it hit him. He didn't even react. Didn't miss a shift. Played the rest of the game. I go around after the game and shake his hand, and the next day, find out it's broken and he's got to have surgery. So tough kid, went in there, did a heck of a job for us, and then to play the national team, I thought our guys did a good job too. Like I think those are important games for us to make sure we continue to play how we need to play to be a good hockey team. And so preparing this week, we had yesterday off and good practice today, and looking forward to getting on the road to play a really good Ohio State team.
Adam, the holiday break's always a challenge for a college hockey team. How confident are you that you can rev it up, and how anxious is this team just to get back to some normalcy?
I think they are, yeah. I think where it gets challenging is practice. You know what I mean? Like the games are challenging, right? When you're down, I think at the GLI at one point we had we're down to 8 forwards, had some injuries, so that's tough, right? And but then when you talk about practice, right, trying to practice at that pace. So today was great. We had Shane and Riker back today, so we had some more numbers, and Nielsen and Porter will be back in today, and giving them a little breather, and hopefully they're ready to go. But yeah, I do think that is, and I said to the guys, I think they've done a great job. Like Porter's going to come back and he's going to be playing, right? And some guys had stepped into those spots, and that's what being a great teammate is. Your number's called, you got to go in there and step in and do a great job. And but when he's back, you got to go back to wherever your spot was or your role, right? And it doesn't mean things are set in stone. But I was proud of the guys today. It wasn't tripping over their lip. They understand that. Like when your number's called, you got to go out there and do your job. Yeah, I mean, that was awesome. I mean, that's, that is the pinnacle for really amateur hockey, right? All these guys dream of playing in it. It's a super tough to even make your team, even get invited to the camp for it. You look at, especially the countries that our guys are at, Canada, U.S., and Sweden. I mean, those are top hockey playing countries in the world. So super competitive to get there, fun to watch them, fun to track them. I know our guys were watching the games, and even I said to the guys, I was proud of our 2 guys with the U.S. team. I know it's not the results they wanted, but I thought they represented us the right way and responded within the tournament. And this is going to help them continue to grow as players, right, to play in this type of environment. And for Porter, to wear the C and in Canada, I mean, that is, outside of the Stanley Cup, that's the biggest thing going, right? And so it's got a huge following, and for him to wear the C is a huge privilege. I thought he did a great job with it. And then Niels to win a gold, right? You talk about, and Niels has done a lot of winning in his career. He's a young player, but he seems to winning seems to follow him, so he's a competitive player. So, all those experiences will help us be a better team.
For Riker in particular, because we talked to him today, he had a couple of big goals too. What can that do for his confidence as a player moving forward for you?
Yeah, no, I think, especially that one, tied it up late, right? Not melting in the moment, and Riker's got that, right? And Porter had a big goal there where he tied it up late for them too, and they didn't end up getting the result they wanted. But I think those moments are critical, and yeah, for sure. And I think those guys, freshmen, by the time you get to Christmas, they're no longer freshmen, and both those guys have done a really good job for us, and we're going to need them down the stretch here, right? They're good hockey players, they're competitive players, they're team players, and this is only going to help their game.
Remember last year you said you're not big into New Year's resolutions. I guess what is the approach heading into this, in a way, second half of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked and just playing our best every day, right? It's the same message we've given our guys, but I think that's the great teams, the great players, the great individuals in sports don't get bored with doing it the right way and doing it at a world-class level every single day, right? So you talk about development, January and February. There's a lot of people that kind of start to feel like it's the dog days of the season, and I actually think that's the biggest opportunity to pass people, right, individually and as a team. So everyone's excited early in the year, and they're going to bed at the right time and eating the right things. And as the season goes on, people that aren't disciplined don't stay with it, right? So we got to make ssure we're disciplined and doing it the right way, and playing our best hockey down the stretch. I feel like our team's gotten better throughout the year. I still think we can keep growing, and we got an opportunity this weekend to do that.
I heard you, I think it was on your radio show, and I've heard you talk about it before, but you were talking talking about earlier in your life, I think you were in construction management,
Yeah.
and you taught an economics class. Just wondering how those non-hockey experiences, if at all, helped shape you as a hockey coach.
No doubt it did. I mean, when I got done playing, well, Kristen was pregnant, and I was playing the East Coast League. We didn't have insurance in the off season, so I needed to get a real job. And fortunately, there was a family, the Canadian group hired me in Charlotte, and I was a superintendent for a construction company. And I trained with the guy for about, I don't know, 3 days, and then I was in charge of building homes. I think the first month we closed 28 homes in the neighborhood I was in. So I haven't been back there to see if they're still standing, but that was my first time really. I wasn't, I didn't have a construction background. I didn't, the framers or the electricians, the plumbers, those guys all knew more than I knew, and they knew that. But I think that, my dad always instilled us, you got to, show people that you're in their corner and you care about them, right? And so I think those guys knew that I cared about them, and it was probably the first time I've ever had to have hard conversations, right? I think, you walk in and it's clear that the kitchen's supposed to have this granite, and it's not. And the granite guy's got to pay for that, and I never had to have one of those conversations, right? And so I think that helped me as a coach. And then even teaching econ, like certainly not a passion of mine. Certainly, I don't even know how great I was at econ, but I enjoyed. You had to have a plan every day, and you had to be organized, and you had to try to find a solution to help the students, and to stand in front of the class every single day, to have the discipline to be organized. And I think that really helped me, and I think it helped me as a coach too, because econ wasn't something I was certainly passionate about, but it forced me to be disciplined, and I think it helped me as a coach.
And then a construction job that probably helped you in leadership skills, didn't it?
For sure, no, for sure. I think a lot of times I wore a letter on teams, right, and you're in those, but I think it's different when you get into the real world, right, and like the experiences I had there of conversations, being honest with homeowners, right, I think that's helped me in recruiting, right, we really believe in being transparent and honest and not selling a bill of goods. And I think even just learning from the Canadian family, I think Lance was the one I really worked with day to day, and a super high character, and believed in me. And I even look back, when I left, because I took quite a haircut on my salary to go to start becoming a coach, and he was kind of shocked, and I had a family, and he was concerned. He actually gave me a fair amount of money, and when I was leaving, and I didn't want it. He's like, "No, I want you to have it." And he said to me, "Someday when you're coaching the NHL, you can pay me back." And he won't accept the money, but I didn't think at that time that I would ever do that, right? I was going to coach the 4th midget team at Shattuck. I just wanted to coach. So I think I learned a lot from him, just in how to treat people and do it the right way.
You have tried to pay him back?
Yeah, we talked. I want to try to get him out for a game, and or get him on a trip or something. But we text, and forever indebted. Even just the spot we were as a family. Again, our family was growing, and to offer me a job that I certainly wasn't qualified for, and believe in me, that meant a lot.
Where does he live?
In Charlotte, yep. In Charlotte, yep.
Did you guys get together to watch Eric last night, and how excited are they to kind of welcome him back?
They're excited, yeah. Stralzi's obviously really dialed into it with being a Swede and playing on the team last year, and what it means to that country. I forget what time it was on in Sweden, but everyone in the whole country is up watching that. So, and they've had some really good runs in the round robin play, but haven't had the success in the gold medal. So for them to do, get it done. So I know the guys, a lot of them watched it, and I don't think they all got together, but in their apartments or whatever. So yeah, we're super proud of them, and even the guys that even Marty, winning a bronze. That's a big deal, and especially as a captain, right? It's easy to be a leader when it goes your way, and I thought he dusted himself off there and had a heck of a game in the bronze, and proud of him for that.
As long as we're on off topics, how do you feel about the way we approach the Olympics and NHL players playing it? Do you like that, or would you rather it not be NHL players?
I like it because very rarely do you get best on best, right? Like even you have the men's world championship every year, and I've got a chance to do a few of those over the years, and it's a great tournament, but the guys that are still going in the playoffs or maybe have some injuries or whatever, and so to truly see best on best, I think it's great for the sport. I think it makes it challenging for the NHL season. You look how condensed it is now, and so that's something to probably try to navigate with it, right? Because it's a lot of demands and playing back-to-backs and not a lot of rest. But I think for the sport, I think it's awesome. I mean, they had 4 nations last year. It was an unbelievable deal. And but anytime you can get best on best, it makes for a great game.
The players seem invested in it, don't they?
Oh yeah, no, it's. I think you just listen to some of the guys and talk. I mean, that's their most proud moment, right? And a chance to play in the Olympics and hopefully win a gold. And you look at the U.S. team. I mean, there's a ton of talent on it, a ton of guys that have won it. Whether it's be Stanley Cups and international play, and Canada will be loaded, and the Swedes and the Finns and the Czechs. I mean, it's going to be a heck of a tournament.
Obviously, the Big Ten's always super competitive, but this year, 1, 2, 3 in the country. How much more pressure does that put on kind of every game going forward, knowing that you need the points to stay in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I think our pressure, like we talk about, I mean, I think that's an earned thing, right? Like pressure comes from when there's expectations, right? And we have high expectations, and our pressure is for our team to play the best that we can play, and that goes in practice, it goes in the weight room, and it goes for every shift, right? Like how can you dominate your shift and take it one shift at a time, and that's how we grade our guys and assess our guys. And I think the nice thing with that is that they know the standard, and there's no questions about it, and so all we ask is your best every game, right? And the results will take care of themselves.
What are some of the things that Ohio State does well that you're preparing for?
Well, I think I've always had a ton of respect for Rawls. I think he does a good job. They're organized. They're competitive. I think they're very good in transition. They got some guys that can, with some speed, that can make you play. But I think when we've struggled against them, it's definitely a lack of us being able to get to the inside and them doing a great job defending. So if we're going down there and thinking we're going to get easy offense, that's not the case. You're going to have to work for it, and that's our job to make sure our guys are ready for it.